Use the microphone because I'm a bit mousy. Selahattin Demirtas is a Turkish politician and English Pen Award-winning author. From 2014 to 2018, he was the co-leader of the People's Democratic Party, a left-wing pro-Kurdish party with an emphasis on progressive values, feminism, and LGBTQ rights. He has been imprisoned in a Mexican security jail since 2016 and faces a 183-year prison sentence. The preface to his short story collection, Dawn, is written as a letter from prison to the reader. One of his short stories is titled A Letter to the Prison Letter Reading Committee. Today, I'd like to read you a story I've written called Another Letter to the Prison Letter Reading Committee. This is his book, by the way. It's brilliant. It's details the life of ordinary people in Turkey. It's got some amazing humour in it. I thoroughly recommend it. It is a winner of an English Pen Award, and yeah, you really should give it a go. So here is another letter to the Prison Letter Reading Committee. Dear Committee, or committee member specifically, just as authors often have one reader in mind when writing their books, so too do I when writing this letter. In my mind, you have large ears, brown eyes, and red elbows from leaning on hard tables. The attached letter is intended for the prisoner to whom it is addressed. But as you'll be reading it first, I wanted to say hello. Apologies, first and foremost, for adding another letter to your letter reading load. Then again, it is your job, so I guess I'm helping to keep you in work. The fact that I am handwriting this letter in small text will most likely not assist your reading of it, although I am trying to be neat. The added fact that it has been written on brown frozen pizza packaging, cardboard, may also prove a barrier. But just as I am attempting to imagine you as an individual human member of the Prison Letter Reading Committee, so too am I trying to imagine life for my imprisoned friend and what it must be like for him, for he is a he, forced to try and make do without access to computers or fancy watermarked paper. The famed Kenyan author Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote his novel Devil on the Cross on prison-issued toilet paper, while himself detained for over a year. The recipient of my letter is a prize-winning author also, although he has been imprisoned a good deal longer. Does your committee have a chairperson? Is it you? No, I really don't think so. Please don't take offence. It's just that, from my experience, people with fancy titles don't actually do much. They delegate, even mild duties such as reading. They also tend to favour the sound of their own voice over others. If your committee has such a person, my condolences. It must be difficult for you. You're supposed to be reading, after all. Shh, you should tell them. Quiet, please. Read anything interesting lately? Books, I mean. Or is that the last thing you feel like doing after a hard day's reading? Reading. Perhaps you'd prefer to fly a kite at night time. Maybe you should secretly read a book during the day instead of letters. Like the book of the author I mentioned, the recipient of the attached letter. It was written in prison also, so it might be right up your street. It might even be one of yours. The prison, I mean. Unlike this shoddy, handwritten letter, his book has already been typed up and professionally double-spaced for your reading ease. It's even been proofread. You could sandwich it between some letters so it looks like you're reading letters instead. It is quite a slim volume after all. But for goodness sake, whatever you do, don't get caught. Reading the letters of prisoners and their loved ones can't be the easiest of jobs. But if I may be so bold, it is surely a far easier task than having to write those letters, which will often be heavily weighted with grief, despair, tenderness, love, and built-up, pent-up rage, especially when the prisoner has been imprisoned in maximum security for no just reason. Are you still with me? I expect you have to be, yes? In case I write something controversial near the end. That last paragraph, for instance, did it betray my strong feelings towards my friend's incarceration and the reasons responsible for that incarceration and the people responsible for those reasons? Or are you just reading too much into that? What sort of kite do you have? I better start wrapping up this pizza box. To summarise then, I would be most grateful if you could pass the attached letter on to my friend, the incarcerated, award-winning author, politician, and upstanding member of society. Because, from what I understand, receiving a letter in prison is like inhaling a breath of fresh air, or even receiving oxygen itself. In this sense, your job is very important indeed. You have the power to withhold a person's supply of oxygen. Please wield your power wisely. Now that I think I know you, big ears and all, I have every confidence you will. Thank you for your time.